It's another week. It's February, which is the month of love. Black History Month too. Hey, he first?
Yeah, man. I'm out here. Chilling. It's your boy Shadow.
That's where you probably got the best introduction out of everybody. Like I was telling them, season 2. This is the start of season 2. And Cheddar gets to lead the way this week.
Yeah, man. How y'all doing out there, man? Crazy things are going on. This is February, the month of love and heartbreaks and what?
Heartbreaks and Hey, Kofi, say it with me. Say it with me before anybody else joins. We are honoring our black brothers
Oh yeah,
and sisters.
yeah. It's also Black History Month.
Because no matter what Kofi does, if he get here, he add him to Black history.
Yeah. So yeah, don't forget to shout out to all the Black Kings out there and Queens and
Haha. Haha.
Justin did coming in with a search history.
No, I was actually there was something I remember reading. I watched it. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of shit. Let me go back into my final form.
Man, introduce yourself coming in, nigga. Good Lord.
I was ready for you to show up, and then you stopped the live, and I was like, oh no, he died.
What?
No, baby.
Man, hey, before you introduce yourself.
Go. Nice.
So guys, to me, the problem child. I actually watched the interview of this, so I try to be as unbiased as possible because I think me and Fulo don't like Bruno Mars. That's a spoiler. That might be possible. Yeah.
What?
Fulo, do you like Bruno Mars? Is it true or is it untrue? Tell us how you feel.
Well, who fool? Who you?
You talking about fool or woo?
Hey, fool. I talk about you.
You talk about food? Oh, yeah, woo. All right, so here's the deal, man. First of all, we gonna go ahead and start this off right. 40 don't speak for me. You know what I'm saying? 40 don't speak for nobody. All right, he covering up his face right now because he don't even trust himself. All right, he covering up his face right now because he don't want to. Oh no! Oh no!
We're going mask off with.
Chances of success.
Just like DJ Academics with those kids.
Whoa.
We're going mask off.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Well, this evening we have Silk Sonic. We are spending
the evening with Silk Sonic, man.
Bruno Mars Anderson Paak. But before we get to that, whatever y'all sipping on, all that good stuff. Hey.
Shout out to Boba tea.
Hey.
Beer. Shout out to the team.
It's crazy.
Take a look at that fly.
We'll know the story, but we'll get to that another time. But
leave me out of it.
A quick tell of the tape. It was released in 2021 by the superduo Bruno Mars Anderson Paak, with Bootsy Collins narrating on it. It was debuted at number 2 in the top 200, selling 104,000 first week, and it was led with 5 singles, including "Leave the Door Open," which went number 1, went bonkers by "Smoking Out the Window," "Skate," "Love's Train," and "After Last Night." "Leave the Door Open" ended up winning like 4 Grammys, and Billboard has it as the 7th best album of 2021. And the album has surpassed 1 billion streams on Spotify. Eventually went platinum. But with that said, the Grammys is also going on right now. So
hey,
Shout out to the
Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. We already got 3 Grammys in the bag. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. You know what I'm saying? Don't even need to watch. Don't even need to tune in. But we hate Canadians here. All right. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our president. That's how we feel. If you from Canada, if you used to live there, if your parents used to live there, if anything like that, you know what I'm saying? If you came to America for a better life, we're gonna get you out here too.
Listen,
All right. Shout out.
holla at
Whoa,
me
whoa, whoa,
if
whoa,
any of
whoa,
y'all
whoa!
need maple
Whoa,
syrup
whoa! I wasn't
plugs.
talking about you. Whoa, whoa! I wasn't talking about you. I was just saying, just Canadians. He was like, if you call Canada home, you know what I'm saying? They don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? You're not like us. You know what I'm saying? My bad.
Thank you.
The 3-time award-winning song, "Not Like Us," because we hate Canadians.
shout out to Christy that she nominated for a Grammy. I don't know what he was just talking about, but she used to sing in my church. She can sing.
Wait,
All
She
right, here we go.
really?
yeah,
Huh?
fact. She got nominated. Her,
Shout out.
but whatever that nigga talking about, hey, shut up. You over there killing that that boa shake, boy.
Hey, yo,
Um
hey, Paul.
it's, it's,
Yo, why he moving his mouth like that?
Bo was chilling. What can I say?
Oh God, this is gonna be one of those, huh?
Hey, now, man, you can't be drinking and eating all over the live, man. Get it together. Have some
man.
professionalism. You know what I'm saying?
This was your album this week. Go ahead with it, bro.
Yeah, man. Evening with Silk Sonic. Look, I actively, not actively, I don't say actively. I didn't care for much of Bruno Mars's early career. There would be some songs that kind of would blow through my way that I liked a lot, but I didn't pay too much attention to him. Like I was always, if he was on a feature with somebody I liked, like Lil Wayne, Eminem, they had a couple features with him that kind of peeped, and I was like, okay, cool. But it wasn't until crap, I can't remember what song it was now. It was that song that came out when we were in college. But anyway,
Grenade,
I can't remember. Huh?
Grenade or the Uptown Funk.
Uptown Funk. Uptown Funk. Well, yeah, Uptown Funk.
Uptown.
Yeah. When he came out Uptown Funk, I started paying attention to him a little bit more. And I think he performed at the Super Bowl that year or the year before. And that's when I was like, you know what? This guy seems kind of cool, seems kind of fun. I like his swag, I like his energy. And then he dropped 24 Karat Magic. And that's when I was like, man, all right. Well, this Bruno guy is my guy. Because 24 Karat Magic was one of my favorites. It's probably one of my top 5 songs that I was into a lot. There was a point in time I think I was listening to it every morning and every night and midday. Like it was 3 times a day. It was on a meal schedule
Wait,
routine.
what
That was
song?
24 Karat Magic.
All right, man.
Yeah, man. It was a whole box of me. I love the song, the video, all of it. I was like, oh man, this Bruno dude is fire. I like his energy. I like his swagger. And
Yo,
I remember hearing
how did
about
that
how
go
he was going
again?
to come out. Huh?
How's 24K Magic sound again?
24 Karat Magic in the air. Head to toes. Players, put your pinky ring up to the moon. Don't
I
don't.
am.
What y'all trying to do? Okay, I'm
I'm.
done. But anyway,
I don't remember that.
wow, really? I feel like it's one of the. I feel like it's that song, and that's what I like. That whole
Uh,
Let them be. Let them be. Let them be. That's y'all forgetting. That's 40's
yeah,
thing.
you don't like you don't
Anything that becomes too popular, he then goes back and he
erase
erases it from his
it.
mind.
yeah,
So then
Yeah, I don't remember
so
that
he's
at
just
all.
like,
that's a real
Bruno Mars had a hit
that's a
song?
real
What? Who's the
popular
weekend?
song.
Because
Michael
I feel like
Jackson? What?
that put him on the major map was that album
But it's
when he
When
pop.
did that come
when
out?
he really.
Oh, 40 don't listen to no pop.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true. That's true.
That's true.
I remember hearing that he's about to team up with Anderson Paak to drop a new album, and I was like, I mean, oh, it's more that 24 Karat Magic type of sound, but like, and just him teaming up with Anderson Paak did not sound like it was going to be a good idea. I remember hearing him being like, why in the world would they ever team up for a duo or whatever? I don't know what it's going to sound like. I don't think it's going to be good. And then they dropped, what was it? Smoking Out the Window. I think was their first single that they dropped, and everyone was very impressed. I think it was either that or Leave the Door Open, but I think it was Smoking Out the Window.
Mm.
Anyway. Um, yeah, man. So honestly, it was a toss up which album I was gonna pick between 24 Karat Magic and this one, but this one has so much more bops on it for me, top to bottom. Like I like the peaks in 24 Magic K Magic, that album a lot more, but like this one was more consistently like I liked every song on here, just about. So spoiler alert.
It
But
was
Mm.
I don't know,
it,
40, you got any experience with Bruno? I guess you don't like Bruno Mars.
hold up,
You
flag.
care about huh?
It was Leave the Door Open. That
Leave the door
was
open?
Yeah, leave the door open. You know that went crazy. So
Yeah.
Oh,
um,
the Door Open was their main track, but from what I watched an interview with them, and they said that they were working on Smoking Out the Window, and that's what actually brought this album to a culmination. Because
Mm.
Anderson Paak and him were just kind of like joking around with the song, and so that was what like Smoking Out the Window was. And then I think they built around that as like their main like song that made them want to kind of do this album in the first place. Because I will say, like, if you ever like have the time, anyone out here watching or you guys, Apple Music did like an interview with them, and hearing Anderson Paak and Bruno kind of talk about how that album came about and how a lot of those songs were put together and whatnot, it's pretty good. I gained a lot more respect for Bruno Mars and Anderson Paak because unfortunately, all I really knew about Bruno Mars is outside of like Uptown Funk, it was Grenade, and I didn't like that song. I was like, oh, I heard it, I'm like, no, I'm good. I never want to hear this again. And that was when everyone was like blowing him up. So I was just like, I'd never want to care about this.
Don't be
And then Anderson
surprised.
Paak,
Don't be surprised.
yeah,
Woo, woo. Don't be surprised.
yeah. And then
Don't be surprised.
Anderson Paak,
every time
he,
every time like, but then I remember I was like, it's 40.
yeah. And I tried to get into Anderson Paak before because people talked about him from multiple different like I think Full of You sang praises of Anderson Paak, and even my brother's been like, dude, he's pretty good, and even other like music reviewers. But I haven't really like given him a true listen. The only thing I really remember is that I didn't like his cipher in like 2016 or something. Like I think he was with a
That song was
designer.
atrocious though.
And yeah, that was
Who was it?
a
It was Anderson Paak, not Lil
designer
Yachty.
and a little Dicky.
Yeah, there we go, Lil Dicky.
I can't watch that one from my mind. I'm sorry. No matter how many times I watch that JID cipher. But yeah, no. Other than that, like this album specifically, the only thing I know about this album, and this is the craziest part, is there is a YouTube video. It's 30 seconds long called "Anderson Paak Says the B Word and Dies," and it's a clip of him being in the smoking out the window, and he goes this bit, and then they just show him like dead on the ground for the rest of the video. So that's all I got from it. And then I was like, oh shit, I guess Bruno and Anderson Paak know something together. So that was it. Well, what you thinking?
So here's the deal. I heard this album when it first came out because, it was a pretty big album. What's his name? I'm a big fan of Anderson Paak. I've been listening to Anderson Paak not even on and off. I just been listening to Anderson Paak and things produced by him since like 2014, 2015. I think Malibu is the album that he made where I was just like, oh, this whole album is like it's like 16, 17 tracks deep. The whole album was good. And so big fan of Anderson Paak. And then as far as Bruno Mars, I appreciate his musicality. I appreciate his like he does a lot of study. He does a lot of like the research into like he kind of came up off of like old school R&B and soul and jazz music. So this wasn't like a huge surprise, huge twist for him. Uh, I am not too fond of the combination of the two, mainly because while Anderson Paak's versatile enough to basically like produce and rap and play and anything with anybody, I just I'll get to this a little bit later, but like Bruno Mars kind of goes through these phases where he has like shticks, where he's like, "Oh, now I'm gonna be this for this year, and now I'm gonna be this for this year." Kind of like The Weeknd. The Weeknd does the same thing, where he's just like, "Oh, now I'm gonna make a techno '80s album, and then I'm gonna make." I started off making like soft R&B. It's a lot, and it kind of makes some of these tracks up here not hit as hard as they probably could. But we'll get to that in a little bit. For right now, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Wu the Don. My bad. Wooka the Don. My bad. Luke. My bad. Woo.
But
Woo. There we go. You know what I'm saying?
all right, so
You better put a capital P on that, Pope.
I I guess you can kind of say that Bruno do go through his little shticks, but I mean most of the most popular artists do. Beyonce does it. She go through a country pop out. Drake does it. They do it. So it is what it is when it comes to that. But Bruno, I mean, we'll start with Anderson Paak. Anderson Paak, I listened to him and listening wasn't really none that I was, oh man, Anderson Paak. Nah, it's just, he might drop a song, he might drop a feature, he might produce something. I listen to it, but I keep it pushing. And this is gonna be surprising. This is gonna be surprising because I actually gotta give credit where credit is due. And it's kind of weird because it seemed like a little plot twist for me because Fullo is actually the person that put me on the Bruno Mars. And he ain't even know that.
I ain't know. Let's
one
go.
one time when we was riding together, we was going to go get some food. Fullo put on it, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Calling Out My Lovelies. And
Fire. That was off the 24 Karat Magic album. That was fire.
so,
It was fire.
so from that I kind of went back and started listening to Bruno a little bit more, and then when this dropped, I was like, oh, this is fire, like, cause oldies is my, like, I love oldies, especially when it comes to R&B and all that type of stuff. So my parents are old, so all they used to play is all that old stuff, man. So this kind
If this was a smack battle, I'd be like bang, bang, bang. Whose parents catching shots for no reason. It's like, my parents, they old. Like, hey, yo, hold on. I'm just like, yo,
of,
relax.
bruh.
But no,
So
man.
yeah, so like this was pretty dope for me. I enjoyed listening to it.
All
But
right, let's go and get into it. We'll pass it to
hey,
who?
hey, Cheddar, go ahead, man. What you like about it?
Man, what don't I like about this album? No, honestly, like top to bottom, I enjoyed every track, man. After last night was a big one for me. Blast Off was another huge one for me. I've been singing like almost every song off this album all week long. Um, I love, you know what I really appreciated? I really appreciated Bootsy Collins all over this album kind of narrate. I mean, y'all know, like I said before, I do love quote unquote concept albums, but like having like a some kind of connecting thread through all these songs, which just happens to be Bootsy Collins. Which, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and admit, at first I thought that was because I've never really heard Bootsy Collins talk before. I thought that was like Bruno Mars, somebody doing a voice.
I can
Oh, would
And I
respect
thought it
that.
was them like being like
hey,
because I thought we
would you
huh?
say your number one song was, or one of your favorites?
Put for Carrot Magic.
Oh,
You know,
me?
off this
No,
album.
yeah.
Uh, After last night,
All
which
right,
Bootsy
so
was on.
I'm gonna call you on some bullshit right now, Cheddar.
What?
How you gonna sit here and hate Common for having a song with them, and then your favorite song off of it features the narrator?
Well, no, okay. Because to be fair, this feels like they're doing all these songs sort of kind of live. And he's like, "Whoa, well, coming to the stage, it's Bootsy Collins. So let me go ahead and hop on this song with you guys because I'm on stage here with you." It's a different narration that he was doing as opposed to Common narrating this. And here's the superhero coming through the darkness of the tears of the shadows of the night, and here I am on the song. It's a different narration that Common was doing compared to
Collins
Bootsy
also has
Collins.
that. If you ever want to, if you like a Bootsy Collins narration, his original album, I forget what the name is, but it's with it's a really good album. I'd rather be with you is on it. Stretching out in the Bootsy's Rubber Band. He does a lot of narration. Bootsy Collins, that voice is so distinct that if you like that kind of him just kind of being like, and then I'm over here, baby, yeah. It's like that, like fucking like this man has definitely smoked some before he started talking. It's very fun listen. I highly recommend it. If you might fuck with Bootsy Collins kind of style, which he's very fun.
I'll check it
I'm
out
surprised.
sometime.
How old is Bootsy Collins right now? That is
I thought he was.
real cool.
That's part of why I thought it was Bruno Mars on the voice because like I thought he was dead.
He has to
I
be.
mean,
Oh,
he might not be
he's
that
73
old.
years old.
How old?
73.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
He
I figured he
randomly
died.
matches their energy.
I heard he died a couple years after James Brown or something. I don't know, but kind of find out. Nah. But yeah, I appreciated that. Let's see. After last night was one that because I had caught the singles off this album, but I don't think I had ever really listened to this album. So then like sitting down and like listening to a lot of it. Love Train was another fire one for me. Blast Off. I say probably yeah. After last night, Love Train and Blast Off I put as a top three that doesn't include Smoking Out the Window and Leave the Door Open because I don't know those are ones that kind of took storm in the public eye anyway. But excluding those, yeah. Um, but yeah, 40 man. What's your highlights?
Oh, for me, I like Fly As Me. Like, this is one of those albums where you kind of want to see a little bit of both artists. And when Anderson Paak gets his time to shine, where Fly As Me kind of like, it's a good way for him to kind of jump in. I really did enjoy like just the back and forth. I think it was even better on 777 because him and Bruno kind of feel like they're working really well together on that song. Like they're just like it's one of those things where like, okay, this is exactly, without any like, and it also keeps them from being too formulaic with their like putting out like a homage out, like a homage album where it's like, hey, this is something that here's this nostalgic sound we're going for. But now they have like this kind of like this hip hop infused fusion soul funk kind of like full mesh. Smoking Out the Window is a good song. I love the call and response on that. That's just Bruno Mars setting the tone, and then just Anderson .Paak in the background, borderline like ad-libbing his like response tones, where it's like, what is it, at 35, 45,000 up in Tiffany's, and then you just hear Anderson .Paak in the background, oh no, like that's good. Like that, even if I'm like the biggest hater of this album, it's hard to be like, hold up. When they did the Hercules line out of nowhere, that was crazy. Like that's a good overall. Like I think those three really set this album in a different light for me. And I think there's some songs that you just don't need to put on here in terms of like on like your like list, because I feel like Leave the Doors Open is just an inherently good song. Like that's one that I don't really find I can go and really comb over. It's hard to find a negative on that one. But I think those three were pretty much my go-tos. Bullet, what you thinking?
I only really got like 2 songs off of this, you know what I'm saying, that I thought were like, not they like all the songs are okay. They just feel kind of corny. But I have like 2 that work. It's Love's Train and it's After Last Night, probably because Bootsy Collins is up there. It's really hard to mess that up. And then I'll say 777. Here's the reason why. Sometimes gimmick shit don't work, bro, and that's fine. But when it does work, like when it actually is nailed, I'll give up credit. So I'll say again, like Love's Train. Love's Train feels like a song that could have came out in the 70s. Like it actually works. After Last Night, once again, mainly because of Bootsy Collins. And while I like Smoking Out the Window, it just comes off as too gimmicky, man. It sounds like I'm listening to like a band. I think we said this a couple of months ago about someone else, where it's like, oh, you sound like a cover band. A lot of these songs came off like, oh, I'm covering a song from the 70s. What's up, 40?
I want to put this out for everybody to make sure we're all on the same page here, because I might just be acting like I know something that you guys probably obviously know. Love's Train is just a cover from another band that came out in the 70s. Just to let y'all know.
That's probably why it works.
Yeah, I was like, here's a little like a fun fact. I really did not like Love's Train because I'm like, man, this sounds super formulaic and it sounds like something that's been done before. And then I'm like, hold up, motherfucker, it is something that's been done before. Looked it up. It's by Con Funk Shun, and they did it on Soul Train. So that's why.
It's crazy.
Well, that's good stuff, man. Well, as I said before, that actually reinforces my point even more. When something feels real, like when it's not gimmicky, on this album, it works. But a lot of the stuff, especially with a lot of the stuff with a lot of Bruno Mars's vocals, it sounds like he's covering someone. It sounds like he's pretending to like do something else, pretending to do a voice. And it's like, it don't work for me sometimes. But nevertheless, though, man, those are my highlights. And I'm going to pass on to Will.
Well, outside of the big ones, of course, Leave the Door Open, Smoking Out the Window, classics. If I had to choose 2 more to follow up, I would have to choose Love's Train because I love the original song, and they made it sound good up here. They made it sound current, so that's why I was kind of rocking with it because it's a cover, it feels good, and then I created a memory with it, so it was fun. And also put on a smile was I like Put On a Smile and After Last Night, of course. Even though Kofi, kind of reneged on that one, since he want to make excuses and all that good stuff. But this was a well put together album. Even the songs that I didn't care for, I understood, and or they used it like in a nice way where they made it sound good. Like spoiler, I don't really care for 777, but when they performed it on, I forgot what it was pretty dope, and it kind of wrapped me into the whole show that they had going on as a whole. So,
what made you like Put On a Smile?
Huh?
What made you like Put On a Smile?
It just it made me put on a smile. It was a happy song. You know what I'm saying?
From what when I was was
just
hearing
fall.
the.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and use my flag. I'm gonna go ahead and use my flag, bro.
Man, it just felt good, bro.
This is just a food thing.
I love you.
I hate positive music, bro. I'm sorry, like, I don't really vibe to it, bro. Like when people get up here and they too happy about stuff, bro. I don't like that shit, bro. Be real, I
When
don't like that
I
shit, bro.
heard, I normally agree with you, Fuller, but when I heard how that song came about, which was Bruno Mars trying to put that together,
I don't give
and
a
then
fuck.
Anderson Paak, apparently, from what Bruno said is that when they were making the song, Anderson Paak was like, "This sounds kind of booty," and then he started like doing the ad libs of like the background put on the smile, and then Bruno was like, "Oh, this is how it is." I'm like, okay,
Hey,
I'm
I'm
down
gonna
with it.
I'm gonna pull a quote from Stephen A. Smith. We don't care. We don't care.
Man,
Sorry, Bruno, you don't get no pass. I guess those tariffs are coming in hard.
I don't even know where we at right now. Cheddar, I think.
Low lights going to Cheddar, but Cheddar's over here. Also, my second flag is, yo, Cheddar, get off this album's dick. Yo, hey, yo, yo.
Look,
Like,
I can't help it, man. I
I
can't
like
help it,
every song. I just can't help
man.
it. Yeah, I like
It's
every
one
song.
that it's the reason why I picked it. It's one that I mess with very hard. But low light for me, kind of like what those said. 777. I think it was for the Grammys, by the way. I was trying to find the video just then. I think it's for the Grammys. But 777 is probably. I didn't mess with it too much. I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan. It grew on me. I think it was fine. I felt like another album that wasn't as smooth as this one for most of those other tracks. It would have fit a little bit more, but it just felt a little. I don't know. It was different. But yeah, that's pretty much my only low light.
Okay.
So,
What,
40. What's your low lights?
so when you say 7-7 didn't grow on you, you mean like it was just like it was a little too much, kind of, or was it just like
No,
after
I thought it
everything
was
else?
fine.
It
Don't
was
get me wrong. I don't think it was a bad song.
okay,
If I had to pick a low light, that'd probably be my low light.
got you.
I just
Okay.
I didn't vibe with
For
it as much
me,
as every other song on it.
I'm gonna try to run through my lowlights pretty efficiently. So Skate, I thought it was kind of lame. I like in the same realm of like Fullo being like sometimes there's a little bit of like this like too much happiness. Like I remember hearing Bruno Mars talk about this song. He's like, "Oh, why who isn't unhappy when they're skating?" I'm like, that just sounds stupid, man. I'm sorry.
Flag.
Go ahead. You can wait. Go ahead.
I currently or recently have used Skate as a speeding song. So whenever I'm on the highway, I'm about to bust like I turn on Skate. I be that bitch skating. You feel me?
Yo,
Well,
So
this place when
don't
I
you hate
first skater
don't
one
you
and
hate when
started
these
skating.
hold on, don't you hate when these YNs get on the track and rap themselves? Don't you hate when these YNs get on the track and I only play this song when I am breaking the law. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, this ain't the Jeezy album no more.
yeah, because going down and doing and speeding is the worst law that break high in it.
But
I mean,
I gotta use the Woo
hey,
logic.
hey,
Is
I
it a
know you
law?
got more. I know you got more tickets than me, nigga. Bro, we
My
get
bad.
Oh, apparently.
I didn't know we were snitching on niggas'
All right,
cases.
guys, if you're not ready for the new segment we're about to introduce, it's called Airing Out or Dirty Laundry. Let's go ahead.
which means
How many tickets we got out here? Nah. But so, one of the things that I didn't like about Skate is that it's very, like, one of the things that because Bruno's kind of taken to this, like, nostalgia train and Anderson Paak's kind of jumping in with it, there's a lot of times where it's, like, very formulaic and it's like, okay, like, y'all have, like, a lot of people who know what they're doing that are associated with you, including you, like, themselves. And Skate was just like, it's one of those songs that like in order to make this a 10-track album, I feel like they just put it out there. And they're like, all right, how do we make a song like this? Put an orchestral piece on some of the breakdown, then
hey,
go into like just like a smooth like
if you
you
don't know
know
how to nigga, just say that.
wait what?
If you don't know how to skate, nigga, just say that.
I know how to skateboard, and I can roller skate too, and I can ice skate. So I almost can hockey. I almost can hockey for real. But anyways, I'm also gonna put Love Train on here because of the fact that it was a cover, and I didn't like. I was just so perturbed by the fact that they randomly just throw a cover up there. I'm just like, okay, well, fuck it then, I guess. And like, God, I don't know, man. Like, with if them doing like a homage album for them to just do a cover of a song, and I'm like, y'all, this the whole thing was like y'all trying to prove y'all can do something and bring back with like your own current style. Like, it didn't really. I don't know. It's not like it was a bad song. It just was kind of unnecessary.
I'll give you
Blast,
that
I
because
didn't
it's kind
like.
of weird to just throw a straight up cover onto an album out of nowhere. I
Yeah,
didn't realize it
people
was
are
a cover
definitely gonna be
song.
like, "Oh man, Love Train's crazy." I'm so glad that Bruno and Anderson Paak made this, and then everyone like the old school heads are gonna be like, "No, stop it,
Um,
please."
but what? In Love Train's defense, Love Train was on the bonus. It wasn't originally part of that.
Mm.
Oh, really?
Well,
Yeah,
on my album, it says it was track number 9.
it's on
Ain't
the
no bonus out here.
it's on the digital and vinyl. Wikipedia
Oh, it's on
guys.
the D side. They put on the D sides to make sure you can go and have to turn the record over.
Also, shout out
I also didn't
to
like that.
777 being track number 7.
Good thing, because
Yeah,
hey,
that's a good choice.
vinyls is
I didn't notice
back.
that one. Wait, what?
Vinyls is back.
They are back. Shout out to Vinyls. And then Blast Off. I think that song was just boring. Like, that's one of those songs where like you could just kind of feel like, God, man. And then I will just randomly put out that After Last Night bummed me out because they had Thundercat and Boosie Collins on there. They're like two prolific like bass players, and I didn't really feel. I don't know, man. You got like Anderson Paak and Bruno Mars are both drummers, and then you got Bootsy Collins and Thundercat, who are both like great bass players, and they're both like all four of them together are like fantastic musically. After Last Night is like a very chill, more vocal harmonized song. So I'm just like, you have all these like musicians out here that could play all these instruments and do crazy shit, and they're just like, let's all sing together, kumbaya. And I'm just like, all right, well that's just like
I hated
I
these
don't know.
guys are friends.
No, I mean, it's like there's not like you have like it's to see legends. It's really tough when you see legends just not even utilize what they were known for, especially when like they only need one track to do it. Like you got 4 cats who are definitely good, and they're just like we're not gonna show you any of our real skills. But maybe they did, and maybe it was on the track themselves. I don't know, but I was not impressed with that
Man,
song.
when
But
Boosie
my expectation
Collins was talking
was,
about, bro, I don't even know what you was talking about. Cause you did.
show it to me, yeah. No,
I
but
don't
like,
usually stutter, but you did it to me, baby.
to my knowledge, Bootsy Collins was from Funkadelic in Parliament, which was then also the guys with George Carlin, the guy who did Knee Deep. If you ever watched the Welcome to the Good Burger, Home of the Good Burger, when they're in the insane asylum and they're dancing, they do the dance off with the guards. Keenan and Kel. So they have that Funkadelic song.
You,
There's a whole bunch of stuff, but like basically, Bootsy Collins has been known to be like a music provant. Like the dude was playing with James Brown and shit. Like he was the bass player for James Brown. So I'm just sitting here going like, you guys got legend. You got like a fucking legend on your track. I don't hear nothing legendary. I hear like a fucking Put on the Smile Part 2, but it was just like after that. I don't know. I'm gonna go and let Fuller go and talk his spout his hate. Go ahead. If you got the hate in your heart, let it out.
man, that shit let know where for him just
Yeah,
gonna keep it.
that whole low light section was a low light for me. That
Hey,
whole like, and
well,
like
I'll say it like this.
and the worst part
I'm only
is
saying that because after last night, one of my favorite songs was. So I was like, yeah, that was all empty, bro.
that's actually not what that's not what that's not why I'm saying it. I'm saying it because I just felt like the reasons was kind of weird. Like so, like you don't like After Last Night because these guys are multi-talented and they didn't do what you liked for them to do best.
Because they were
No,
formulaic, man. It's like, come on,
no. Let's be clear. Bootsy Collins does a lot of things. He's not just a
yo.
bass player. And
Yeah.
what he did on that track was one of the things that he's able to do. And he's on that track because he's a legend. And
Yeah, but
he has a
Jesus,
legendary
dude,
voice. Wait,
it's
wait, no,
so.
no, let me finish. You had your time. And it was stupid, so let me spit. So it's just like I think that was just like a weird reason to not like a track. If you don't like the track, just don't like the track. But I wouldn't be like, well, I only like these guys, but they do this and he did this, so I don't like the track. It's like, all right, man, whatever. Look, man, all I'm gonna say is this: Anderson Paak, Thundercat, Bruno Mars, and Bootsy Collins are all multi-talented people. So it's like I'm sorry that on one track they couldn't do one singular thing, especially because if I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure. Let me look this up real fast. I'm pretty sure that Anderson Paak basically put this album together. So it's like when I think about it was Anderson Paak and Bruno Mars that basically put this whole thing together, and I'm kind of just like, well, if you like any of the songs, it was partially because Bruno Mars is a producer. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not gonna go back and forth. my low light, my low lights
Babyface
is
help
this.
out with
I only got
the
two. I only got two main low lights.
Yo,
Blast off
am I
and leave the door open.
low?
I did not like blast off. Feel like blast off was boring and leave the door open. Open. It might be because it's been played too much, or it might be because I specifically do not like Bruno Mars's vocals on that track. Which is interesting because I don't mind Bruno Mars's vocals. I just feel like on that track he's given the main stage and it just didn't like. I don't know, man. It could. I have no idea how they could have improved that song. I just think that like his vocals on that, it just makes kind of the song kind of whiny to me. So it's like a hard listen. But that's pretty much it. I thought Blast Off was boring. I thought Leave the Door Open was too much Bruno Mars, and then that's pretty much it. Like the rest, once again, the musicality of his album is top notch. So I can't really get up here and be all critical and be like, I don't like the fact that they had these highs and they should have had these lows and blah. I'm not gonna get into all that. Those are professionals; they know what to do. I'm just gonna say, for me, Bruno Mars' vocals, it made a lot of these tracks tough to listen to, and which is weird because I like Bruno Mars' vocals. Is just some of these didn't like blend, and also he kind of gets into this thing where The Weeknd does it too. They do this thing where they lean too far into whatever shtick they're doing, and it comes off as cheesy. So like Leave the Door Open when he has like those long solo points, I'm kind of just like, man, like it's kind of obvious that you're not from that genre. When you give someone too much of something, it's kind of obvious that you're not actually in the 70s. Like, so you're singing like this and you're doing this, blah, 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 blah. It's not really like working how I think you think it's working. So that's pretty much it, man. Like, that's pretty much it for Low Lights. I don't think this album is a bad album, and you're about to hear my rating in a little bit, but it's like, yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and let Woo go ahead. What do you think, baby?
All right. I don't have a lot of low lights. If I try to take my own personal bias, guys, I love this whole thing. If I gotta take my own personal bias on it, I already mentioned 777. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I barely remember Blast Off myself, and the intro is an intro, and we'll use the interlude clause that niggas like to pull out for the intro. But I ain't necessarily care for the intro. But I can feel it. Like if you're starting a show off, it feels like the start of a show, and that's not really meant to be it's meant to capture your attention, but it's not meant to like, this is the best song on this shit. So, I mean, I don't, it's space filler for me. But other than that, I love it. I love it.
Hey, yo, get off the album's dick, bro. Hey, yo, Cheddar, go ahead, man. What's the rating?
I will say I agree with
Also,
that
just for
though.
everybody to know, this is debatable. Cheddar can either give it an A plus, or a C. He might be like, man, I love this album. However, my final grade, C minus.
thing is a
But no, I
classic
will
local
real quick before I get into my rating real quick. I will say I agree with that with Silk Sonic. It's not necessarily supposed to be like a song on its own. It's good for what it is. It's a little intro to kind of get you warmed up, I guess, sort of kind of. I feel that. One thing too, just another little note for jumping out or smoking out the window. Was what I was trying to say is I'm pretty sure the original version of that was probably jumping out the window, right? Like, I'm pretty sure she got me jumping out the window. I'm pretty sure that's probably
No,
what the song started off as. Like, no, that's a little bit too dark. Let's not talk about suicide. Because those songs about some girl who was for everybody and not just for him. I think it was. But anyway,
damn, Kobe.
so
Mr.
I'm pretty
Happy
sure
over here is
the
like, this is what
original
we're gonna
version
make
of
this
the
the
song
darkest
was.
version.
I'm just saying. I think it was, but that's too dark. Let's reel it in a little bit. Let's make it a little bit happier. And smoking out the window, we can make fun of that. But I'm pretty sure. Anyway, at one point it got me about to die. I mean, anyway.
Hey, yo, focus, man. Focus, bro.
For my rating, I give it an A plus. Spoiler alert, yeah. No, this album was fire. I enjoyed listening to it. I was listening to it the week before as I was trying to figure out what I wanted to pick. So it's back to back weeks I've been listening to this, and my my feelings have not changed. They've only solidified. I fuck with this album hard. 40. What's your rating of this album?
For me, I'm gonna give it like a B plus to an A. Like this one of those albums where it's like there's a lot of good stuff on here. The music itself is great. I'm leaning to more to the fact that these guys showed like a good homage to like that era of music, but after a while, it's just like y'all have a lot of tools at your disposal that that era of music didn't have, and y'all could really go and show out. But then they really didn't. And they also did a cover. Like I'm like, why the fuck? Why the fuck would you cover? I don't. I'm like I'm just after
Hey, flag, I got
listening
a
to
not
it
not
a
a, this
lot.
isn't even really a flag,
No, go ahead.
but as someone who didn't really listen to a lot of old school music, um, I appreciate and because I know 40 and UN who you and Fuller were both saying that like it sounds like they're imitating blah blah blah. As someone who doesn't really listen to a lot of old school music, I love the old school feel of this album. But anyway, I
Yeah,
digress. Go ahead, 40.
and that's why I'm like giving it the rating it is because at the end of the day, right? Like I could pretend to take off points for whatever, but they did a good job encapsulating that era of music and getting people interested in that style of sound. The problem is that without a doubt, they definitely had like a great cast of people around them when creating this album, where they could have went into more of like the instrumental like functionality and form of it, but they just didn't. They were just like, we don't need to, and it kind of became a very like predictable song styling of stuff, and then that's where you get stuff like Blast Off or Skate or like Put on a Smile, where
Because
you're just kind of like
back during that time when an artist found like something that they're good at, they lean heavy into it. So a lot of albums back during that time is just the same exact song with a like slightly different tempo, slightly different melody. Like most of that go like I love Al Green, but go through an Al Green album if you want to. The whole thing goes
like
sound
James Brown. I'm talking about like actually Bootsy Collins, cats who were just like, hey, while I'm done singing, let's go and kick it off to the drummer, baby. Kick it off to the fucking bass player. Kick it off to the guitars, and they start fucking jumping in. Silk Sonic's intro gives you the belief that you're about to be in a fucking performance with this like made up band that captures that funk sound, which means that the whole band's gonna fucking perform where the main MCs go and give shout outs to. So I expected them to do something on this album where I was gonna be like, oh shit, we're gonna hear like a Bruno Mars drum solo. Not even a fucking little bit. I was like, okay, cool. We gonna make this something that's gonna be listenable to the whole audience, which after a while becomes like I don't know. For me, I'm just like I'm looking for more than you got a lot of hit
flag.
singles, but then you're just bored.
Flag.
What?
With all you just said, that's the exact same reason why I love this album. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I would expect you to. But as someone who like listens to James Brown, right?
He said,
There's times where that's
"Oh
why
my
James
bad.
Brown
Oh,
fucking musicians came out and became legends.
just to translate 40 speak. He said he expects you to, because you're black. Go ahead, 40.
Nah, nah. I'm literally expecting it because they did the formula. They literally took what was supposed to be on this album, what people wanted to hear, and they said, "You know how to sell records, baby. You do it this way." And I'm like, "God damn it, dude." Anyways, I'm gonna go and pass it off because it's a moot point. B plus. I'm gonna just do a B plus now because I think it proved my point at this point. But look, go ahead.
You didn't. Anyway, it's like,
Definitely did.
so here's what I'll say. I think that so my rating on this album is a B. Is a B or a B minus. I'm gonna go ahead and settle on a B because I can't deny the musicality. To go ahead and respond to some of 40's points, I'm not gonna respond to all of them. I'll say this: this is not a funk album. This is a R&B album. This is a soul album. This is a funk album. This is you have at least one or two tracks where Anderson Paak is racking. This is
If it wasn't a funk album, then you say it's a funk album. I don't know where the grading scale.
He
if
just
You're
you
like,
did
this
can,
isn't
that.
a funk album. It's an R&B. It's this. It's also a
I
funk album. It's
said
like, wait,
no.
what?
I said no. I said if I can finish, you good? Calm down, check your emotions. What I'm saying is this is not just a funk album. If you got up here and you thought Bruno Mars and Anderson Paak were about to make a Parliament Funkadelic album, that is not what anybody thought or asked for. So I will say that this is a throwback to 1970s, 1980s R&B. It has elements of funk, it has elements of soul. I don't listen to this album just like, yeah, man, this is a funk album. No, there's like one or two tracks where I'm just like, that sounds like fun. It'd be like thinking that like To Pimp a Butterfly is a funk album because he actually does have George Clinton up there, who you call George Carlin, but I'll let that go. He actually does have George Clinton up there. He actually does have multiple tracks
I
that
definitely
are
disagree.
completely
George
funk.
Carlin, my fault.
Yeah, they are completely funk. You wouldn't call that a funk album.
No, but what I'm
I digress. What I'll say is this: my rating on this is like a B minus, mainly because I just feel like Bruno Mars's vocals kind of they just don't work. gets kind of gimmicky at times. However, when it does hit, and it hits every so often, when this album hits their stride, it is undeniable. Like the talent is like evident. I don't like Leave the Door Open. I will never argue with anybody who does like it. Like, man, this is a great song. I'm not like, well, actually, no, I'll be like, yeah, I get it. It's not for me, but I get it. Like the musicality is undeniable, and I feel like that's one of the things that I will, no matter what album you listen to, if I like it, don't like it, I will, if I can hear the musicality, if I can sense the musicality, the creativity and the effort that went to the album, it's gonna bump the grade up from whatever I was going to give it. So I won't listen to this album and be like, man, this is A plus, blah blah blah. But I'll be like, you know what? I also can't give this like a D or a C. They're clearly talented, all of them. Everybody involved in this album is talented. Thundercat's barely on that track. Thundercat is extremely talented, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh man, he don't know what he's doing." No, it's all good. So yeah, man, I give it like a solid B. And I'm gonna pass on to Woo the kid. Nah, Woo the man. Go ahead, man.
Hey, I'm gonna give this a plus. This is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Nice.
It's a great collection of music. It embraces different styles. You get the rapping, R&B, you get the funk, and I love all those. Then you also sprinkle Bootsy Collins, who just just his voice makes it pop just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So this is one of the
I actually couldn't even give this a C if I wanted to. It got Bootsy.
yeah.
It got Bootsy in there.
Even him just sprinkling that, it made me want to go back and listen to some of his old work. So, and he was just up there just talking on it for the most part. So, it's an A plus. I'm gonna slide a little classic multiplier on it simply because I love it, and I will probably play this album forever,
Yeah, that was the thing. Let me throw a
forever,
classic multiplier on mine too. I
forever,
forgot that was the whole thing.
No,
Let me
hold on. I may have disagreed with 40 because his points I found ridiculous. But let's not get carried away here. This is not a class. Oh, I'll stand on
I'll
that.
throw a classic multiplier on it too.
No.
forever.
Hold on. Hold the phone.
Hey,
We can't because now we're getting to he throwing this
hold on,
classic thing around too lightly.
man. Let me double down. This is one of them albums where I can play it with my parents and they gonna like it.
Yeah.
I can play it with my nephews, they gonna like it.
Yeah.
Play it with my nieces, they gonna like it. I already love it, John. I can play it with everybody. Shoot, if I pop it on while I'm driving with y'all, shoot, y'all niggas gonna like this shit too.
Yep.
Okay, so it's well received. It's a popular album. It's a good listen.
No, but this is for me personally. I don't give a damn what y'all niggas think.
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. I think you need to go talk to yourself, man. I think you need to go in. I think you need to go into a back room, have two pieces of paper, and your right hand's gonna write. If it likes the album, if it's a classic, your left hand is gonna let.
It's a long shut up, nigga. Come on,
I'll be real with you, bro. Ain't no way you gonna come out of that room and ain't be unanimous.
man.
All I'll say is this: classic is kind of strong.
Come out with 777 is gonna say let's go.
All right, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Let's be clear. We all clearly like the album. Though I will say 40, based off of what all your criticisms, how did it get a B plus?
What? Oh, because as I said, also you keep saying that I'm like treating this as a funk album. I'm saying that they're doing homages to those stylings. And when I say James Brown is like the main thing I'm going off of. The whole point is that this album is still good. Bruno Mars and Anderson Paak do put in effort. The songs that I liked showcase both of them doing what they're supposed to be doing. And also there's songs like Smoking Out the Window where there's just like a good call and response. You have like basically two guys leading the band and they're playing off of each other. It makes this like this fun duo. They go and showcase their personalities. Bruno Mars more of like the sultry kind of smooth one. Anderson Paak being like the wild child of the group. It kind of gives it like a good flavor because it kind of gives you that like Battling Temptations meets James Brown meets like a little bit like that neo soul. It's like it's a very cool. It's a cool idea. Like they take all their like things that they love about the music that they grew up on, and they build an album of it. And I think they do a great job at it. But the problem that I've always had with this, the problem that I had listening to this album, is I'm waiting for them to show a deeper understanding of, or trying to showcase. I don't know. I was hoping for something deeper than what they did, and the problem that I had with it was that they didn't go there. And then they also like They also just randomly like do a cover for a song that does exist, and I think it's a good cover. But I'm just like, I've never had it. Like, I've never really seen that shit.
I
Where
feel like what Wu said is like pretty accurate. It's like back then, as someone who like my parents grew up off of like obviously soul, like not just James Brown. They grew up on actual soul music. They were there and they listened to it a lot in the house. My dad's favorite artist was Luther Vandross. And Luther Vandross is a legend. You go back and you listen to entire albums by Luther Vandross, and it's not like what Wu said. It's like back then people stuck with what they did. So
Yeah,
to
I kind of agree.
hear
I love Luther myself, and I was going back.
exactly, but
Dance
like I
with
guess where
my
we're coming from
father
is
again.
I think that you're moving with like a
I don't know what this nigga's talking about, but next week on the
hell yeah,
album,
hell yeah, we're talking about Luther. We're talking about Luther.
next week, 40, it's your choice, bro.
oh
It's
shit,
on you, though.
all right.
The month of
It's
love,
the season of
love,
love.
love.
Oh, I got a
It's
little.
tough. It's tough, kind of picking an album that is like a love album in general for me, because I really don't listen to shit like that. Not actively, or if there is an album like that, it has like one love song at most, maybe, perhaps. If it doesn't mean something else entirely that doesn't actually have
You ain't
anything to
got
do with love, on some
no
like,
Billy Joel.
Hey,
What?
what I've
no,
been
no,
yelling?
no.
What I've been yelling since we brought this up? Something to fuck to, bro.
That's it.
Well,
What you
What
fuck
you
to?
on slide too, Justin?
no, I'm going into a different direction on this one because not everybody is smooth and got the gift of the gab, got the way into a person's heart or their pants. So I'm gonna go with a different variation for all the people out there who are about to deal with Valentine's Day on a single level. I'm gonna do Bonnie Bear's for Emma forever ago. This is a dude who, when he put this album out, fucking Kanye helped him on his second album. Um, this is an interesting album. I hope
What's it
it's
called? For Emma
it's
Forever Ago
called
by
For
Brian
Emma
Ivory.
forever ago. It's by Bonnie Bear.
Brian
He
Ivory.
actually is a
Okay.
dude who lived out in Raleigh, North Carolina for a little bit. Shout out to him. Justin Vernon is his actual name. But yeah, this is probably as close to a song
Okay,
that could be
my bad, my bad.
considered.
I got to correct you on one point because this is what I thought. That's why I looked him up immediately. Bonnie Bear is a band,
Yeah,
and the lead singer's name is. There we go. They're on the
yeah,
same
yeah.
page.
There was a random.
You said Bonnie Bear, and then you said he. I was like, did the? Are you talking about like the lead singer put out? So okay, but you're talking about you're talking about the band's album. Okay, go.
Yeah, but he was the one. So there's backstory. We'll get into it on when the actual album
North Carolina
when the
stand
next album
up.
comes out. Yeah, but it's kind of a cool thing because randomly, I'll do one spoiler. I'm pretty sure Kanye started working with him after this album, for a little stint. So this is before Kanye went Kanye.
Hey,
This is like during like the
that's funny.
2009, 10.
Seven.
So, anyways,
Hey, Cheddar, I have a
um,
random question for you.
What's up?
When, like, back in the day, 'cause I know we kind of old, we don't be in a club like that no more. When you was going to a club, which got on your nerves more? Was it the fraternities strolling, or was it the niggas that could actually dance and was killing everybody that they were walking up to in the club?
Probably fraternity. I hate being in a back club as the fraternities come pushing everybody out the way. Ha ha ha. Yo, I'm
Wait.
telling you,
Hold on. I just want to get this on record.
it's already hot in here. We don't have time for
I just
that.
want to get this on record. I just want to get this on record. So you're saying that you don't like fraternities and sororities and anybody who decides to join them.
That's not what I said at all. It's not even close to what I said.
I bet. I'm just trying to cause some discomfort in your home. Wait. Just to make sure, my bad. You're not saying that. You're saying that you hate the Divine Nine. That's what you're saying. I'm
No.
trying to get on the same
Again,
page.
no. I hate when the Divine Nine comes strolling through a club when it's already packed and trying to clear the room so they can go do some stepping. Go take that outside. We ain't got time for that.
Go take it outside.
yeah.
We can line up by the doors and watch you outside. Don't do all that when it's already in a packed club. I ain't got time for that, bro.
But that's
What was the
crap.
other thing that you said? Oh, just dancing?
Wait. Club or house party?
Mainly
It's
house
worse
party.
at a house party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mainly house party.
It's not worse at a house party.
No, it's
It's
way worse at a
thin.
house
Man, they'll
party.
stop
It's
Because
thin.
yeah, bro. I seen folks about stomp the floor through it and boom
yeah,
boom.
on top of that, at least a club
Yo,
has
wait. What was
has
that? What was that apartment complex
When
in
the floor fell
Greensboro?
through,
Yeah, you
when
said what?
when they was strolling, the floor fell through.
That's one. But what was the other place that was like right outside UNCG campus, like where everybody would move to? That joint, bro. When they used to stroll through there, they literally people had to leave because those apartments weren't big. You had to leave the
exactly,
apartment to get there.
exactly.
Give them room, give them space. Like,
No, don't
hey,
take it outside.
okay, I'll say this. House party, it's okay. Club
No,
is club is kind of crazy
It's more
unless
acceptable in the club, man.
there's more space in the club. There's always
wait,
going to
I
be more
got
space
one
in the club.
caveat. I agree. It's horrible in the club unless it's their founding day. If you go to the club on sorority or fraternity's founding day, bro, you already know what it is. You already know what it is. Don't
No,
try to act funny.
it's
Don't be like,
way
man,
more
well, I'm just
acceptable at
trying
a
to bring
club
her.
because there's more space.
You said
There's
what?
more space in the club. They have regulations on how many people are going to be inside the club at a certain amount of time. There's going to be more space at a club
Yes,
to clear
and
to clear the dance floor.
nightclubs always follow the fire marshal
But I'm
regulations.
saying there's gonna be more room to clear for a dance floor for them to do whatever they got to do, as opposed to at a house party. There's no regulations. They're already gonna be jam packed. We gotta
Okay,
clear the
this is my
tables and
personal
shit.
opinion. I just feel like at a house party, like that's part of the college experience. You're supposed to go to a house party, and fraternities are supposed to stroll.
Do it
It,
on the front yard.
that,
I
that's
feel
why
like
when we talk
I feel like
sport,
I feel like the main reason why he hasn't. I think like the main reason he has a problem with it is because he's probably the biggest of the group, which means
Yeah,
that when everyone has to then squeeze back into each other, like I feel like
hot,
me and you
crowded.
Fuller can kind of like find our
So it's
little.
like Cheddar's like gives them space. They're like, make more room. He's like, I'm 6 feet tall. I can't make more room.
I'm
Hey yo,
built
man,
like
get
dumb
small.
Shaq, man. I can't move anywhere. I can't squeeze up any more than this.
Go rep them thetas outside, bro.
Oh my God. Like, the reason why I'm mad is because the reason why I laugh as hard is because he's right. But you're wrong. I'm sorry. It's just contextual, bro. It's just contextual. You're wrong. I understand. But it's like going to Africa and being mad while they always like burning trash outside and have fires and shit, and they're also like making a whole
what
bunch of
the
noise with drums. It's the guys just like, hey man, this is what they do. If I go to a
It's
house
not.
party,
It's not. I don't
it,
know.
it's
You're
exactly the same.
describing Berkeley County right now. You're not talking about Africa.
Hey, also,
I don't
bang,
understand.
bang, bang. Shots at Bertie County. Yo, why let me know what Bertie County do
random say Bertie, but
to you? Hey man, so Bonnie Bear, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be pretty good, man. Yo, what
I
made
will
you?
say, I thought it was Bon Iver. So thank you guys for correcting me
No,
already.
I'm pretty sure it's Bon Iver, but we're gonna be fancy and say Bonnie Bear.
Okay.
But
I,
it's like, hey,
yeah,
I
that's a
gotta
good
ask a question though.
question.
What made you choose them, man? You know what I'm saying? How did this album touch you?
you was
What?
fucking Justin.
He likes
No, no.
skinny
One of the
girls.
songs was
He likes little skinny little
when I
white
Were
was
chicks.
you with a girl? Were you with a girl and she was like, put something on? You just like,
college. The Wolves. There's a track on there called "The Wolves" that was a song that was like a song for me and my ex. But there was like also like the whole album itself is kind of composed of a dude who had a lot of problems in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then went out to Wisconsin, and then just like lived in a cottage and started writing love songs and shit, and just about like heartbreak and like caring about somebody.
Hey,
So that's kind of the
so y'all heard it.
yeah.
Y'all heard it here first. Justin about to move out to Wisconsin.
Hell yeah. Gonna go see my Packers play. Hey, go ahead. Let me go ahead and wrap
hey man, before we head
it.
out, man, let's go ahead and get out of here, man. Before we head out,
Still
De'Aaron,
got the tag
De'Aaron Fox
on
to
it
the
and
Spurs. What
everything.
y'all think? De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs. What we think, man? What we think? Does it make sense?
I think it's probably gonna happen. Whether or not it makes
No,
sense, we're
I
going
think
to
it,
see.
I think it did
Oh,
happen.
did?
Why
Wait,
would we
where?
be doing this live? De'Aaron Fox is down with the Spurs.
Damn.
That's a good. That's actually a
Uh,
good pick.
De'Aaron Fox is yes to the Spurs, and Zach LaVine from the Bulls is going to Sacramento.
That's
Hey,
good.
they finally got Zach up out of there, man. It's been some time. They've been trying for years,
They were trying
and
to
they
get
finally got that man up
Zach
out of
LaVine
there.
out there since like the year after he got there. Like the year after he got there, they were like, "Yo, we do have him. We can move him," and they never did. And I gotta go play in
Wait, who did they
Sacramento. That's
get?
fine. You
Did
said
they get
what?
anybody?
Who? Sacramento?
No, the Bulls.
I think it was one of those things where they like facilitated the trade as the third team. So I don't know
Oh,
how much they actually
I
got.
just
So hold on.
got picks
How
for both teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, looks like the Bulls just helped facilitate the trade.
bro.
That's fine. Bulls
Bro,
just like, we don't want to pay for this man.
They ain't going
Trade him.
nowhere anyway. Like, hey, the Bulls are how many pieces away from a championship? 5 to 6 to 7 players.
Bulls
Like,
work with Sacramento to go and build a fucking dynasty.
So so they got Debo and and Zach LaVine again together. What? The Bulls just failed doing that. What?
bro. Side note. Apparently, these these dudes took a coffin out to the Dallas Mavericks stadium, and they've been playing "See You Again" on repeat. I'll tell you, the Mavericks fans out there dying,
Amen.
dying.
Amen. Amen. Let's go ahead and be
They
real.
should have kept Grant Williams.
When they
They
hit
spent
when they when they hit
$3,000
when
on
they
a
hit when they
casket.
hit when they hit Rob Palinka up on the selling, they were like, yo, we're trying to get rid of Luca. Rob put the phone down, was like, Russell Westbrook, man, these niggas tripping. Picked that phone back up. He was like, let's go ahead and make this deal. let's go ahead and make this deal. We robbed them boys. But like I do think that like Kyrie with AD is kind of wild. Kyrie with AD and Klay Thompson, like an old Klay Thompson, but Klay Thompson nevertheless. This is kind of wild. Like, I don't know what they could do, but I wouldn't be surprised if them like if they found their way to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, Kyrie gonna spaz out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
80,
Weird.
like 80 does bad out. Like 80, like it kind of sucks that we lost him only because he literally is having like a great year. Like
Yes.
80's had like multiple like 30 and 20 games, defensive player of the year type play, all this other stuff. And then, hey man, we had to secure that future, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Luka Doncic is gonna become available
Hey,
every day.
also the Blue
yo,
Devils went crazy yesterday.
Who?
They breaks. They
Two
beat the
flag.
boy. We all, you know what I'm saying. We gotta throw that out
you
there,
know,
man. Highlight.
you know how they're talking about how the Mavericks have been trying to focus more on defense. That's why they got rid of Luca. They tried to pick up AD. Well, tell me how they gave up 50 points in the first quarter.
Wait.
Well, I will say this. I will say this. I will say this. I will say this. I mean, it's not. We don't have to go into this whole discussion, but like that team, like you know, you look at that team, bro. That's like really really hard to play in the paint against that team because they already had who's that big like
Gafford,
light skinned dude who they
Gafford,
had
or
Gafford.
Lively.
Then they have the dude that comes off the bench who's also like 6'11", 7, and then you went and got like AD who likes to play at the 4, and they have a natural center at the 5 already. It might be some problems. I mean, I don't know. Like I think we won the trade, but we also could lose them niggas in the playoffs. It's just like
Well, oh,
How did
shoot, I,
not tell Mark Cuban? How's Mark Cuban not know about this trade? I'm saying I don't understand what happened. They don't have to investigate this trade. Like I don't understand what happened and how this happened.
NBA not robbing us again. We should have had Chris Paul about this is payback. We should have had Chris Paul with Kobe about 10, 15 years ago. This is payback. Y'all mad? Stay mad. I don't know why. I'll be real with you. I don't think this trade is legal. This is like you should not be able to get rid of a top 5 player in the league for one first round pick. It's just like Rudy Gobert. They traded when the Wolves got Rudy Gobert. They traded 5 first round picks to them. It's just like it doesn't even make sense.
well, well, all right, y'all. I will see y'all next week here on
Out.
Hey.